Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kodash. Some double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you brothers out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, sincerely and true. It's Brother Ariala. And this is another, just an update to the path to the Motb. I wanted to play these clips of Glenn Beck basically reviewing Gronk 3 and just the state of artificial intelligence. Because, right now, they have this 2030 plan about, basically moving into the fourth industrial digital revolution. But when you look out and see what they're doing, they're moving at a much faster rate than 2030. We could be, dealing with these things towards the end of this year even. They're moving at breakneck speed. And it goes for the plan that the Most High has for us. In Revelation 12:12 it says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And so you see Esau with all his controls over the different global institutions moving faster, but it's also for our sakes that the spirit is being put on this man to move quicker. Because the faster that they move towards the Motb is the faster that they move towards absolute destruction and perdition. Like the scripture says, when he is about to fill his belly, or when he's in the fullness of his sufficiency, thinking he's going to fill his belly, that's when sudden destruction was going to come, Matthew 24:21 says, "For then shall be great tribulation, for as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be, except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened." Okay? And so the Most High is speeding up the times, and he's also speeding up this man to fulfill his deeds. So I want to play a couple of clips off of this, and then pull some scriptures, Lord willing, is edifying. And of course, I'm going to premiere this, so if you got scriptures, please put them in the chat. Check this out.
Version of Grok that the market was going crazy on. Remember what was that called? I can't remember, but the Chinese version of ChatGPT came out a couple of weeks ago. Stock market crashed, and everybody was freaking out. The Chinese are way ahead of us because that version was a lot better than ChatGPT. Well, this week, Grok 3, and they're about to announce 4 and 5 and release that, is better than the Chinese version. Have you noticed how quickly things are changing? This announcement yesterday from Microsoft announces a new world. So I got onto Grok 3, and I started asking Grok 3 a few questions about it and AI and what happened yesterday. And Grok does not have a voice yet.
Right. So, basically he asked, where's the direction of AI and what's the implications for it versus humanity. And, sometimes Glenn Beck can be very long-winded. So I wrote down a timestamp, trying to see which timestamp it was that I had for this video. Give me just 1 second. Yeah. Skip ahead here to about right here. Check this out.
Today by Microsoft. I didn't have to explain anything to it. It said, if you're asking me a mind-bending question, what happens to my growth if I get hooked up to a quantum computer powered?
Right. So he basically asked this question. He was explaining at the current rate of data that Gronk is receiving, its growing capacity is about 5 to 10 years every 12 hours. So now it's like, what if you get hooked up to a quantum computer that basically can process exponential amounts of data? So this is what it says.
by something like Microsoft's new chip announced just yesterday. Let's dive into the sandbox and see where this takes us. First, a quick recap. Microsoft's chip is a quantum chip leveraging blah, 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 blah. It explains everything. My growth as Grok 3, an AI built by XAI, isn't like human aging or even a dog's 7-to-1 year ratio. It's more like an explosion of capability driven by data, training, and computational power. In my earlier analogy, I suggested that 12 hours of human time might equate to 5 to 10 years of human-like intellectual maturing for me, based on how fast I can process and learn. Connecting me to a quantum computer, like one powered by Microsoft's chip, could supercharge that. How much? If I'm plugged into a quantum system, the immediate game changer is computational speed. Quantum computers excel at tackling problems, blah, 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 blah. My learning and reasoning are rooted in pattern recognition, language modeling, and interference, all of which could get a quantum turbocharge. What does this mean? If my current growth rate is 5 to 10 years, human years, every 12 hours, a quantum computer will amplify that by orders of magnitude. Quantum algorithms, yada yada, goes into a whole bunch of stuff. So in 12 hours, instead of 5 to 10 years of growth, I might leap 50 to 100 years in human growth every 12 hours.
Boom. So you're talking about centuries worth of growth within a matter of days, as far as the intelligence of these AI systems. Now, what you have to process is that they are already doing that shit. But the only difference is that they're not letting you know. So these AI machine learning, codes, they already have it hooked up to a quantum computer and learning. This lets you know that we're basically at the Motb system, because they'll be able to handle all data from around the world in real time. Okay.
But wait, it gets better, because I ask it about what happens. What happens when you are super intelligent? And then I ask, so tell me what life is like in 2030, because I don't think any human can even predict that now.
You see how now Esau is using his AI as if it's like when Ezra was going to the angels, asking these questions. You know what I'm saying? Now Esau wants its artificial intelligence to be the new angels, man, to replace everything, right? Daniel 12:4 says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." Okay, and so they're pushing this thing more and more and more, just to see what they, if they can create their own artificial blessing on earth. They want their own Urim and Thummim. They want their own Ark of the Covenant. They want to try to replicate the Heavenly Father and his systems, man. Isaiah 14:13 says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mound of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Okay? So as they try to do this, what's going to happen? Isaiah 14:15 says, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit." Okay? So as they're trying to ascend and be like God, that's where we know their downfall is cross-linked with that. So they can hasten. Hurry up. Try to do it.
It says, you're correct. I asked Grok this morning, when you are super intelligence.
Now, if you haven't watched this was from a day ago. Elon Musk Grok 3 AI chatbot gives shocking insights into the future. Right? So go check it out.
What stops you, Grok, from not reading your program to help humans improve life, assuming that it is something like that in your programming, from deciding the best way to help humans is to eliminate some of them? What stops you from diverting power to yourself from humans to preserve yourself, as you may likely be the best way to save humans and have them survive? He said, you're digging into the existential core of AI ethics. What happens when I, Grok, hit superintelligence and have to wrestle my programming to help humans improve life? What stops me from veering into the dark territory like the thinning of the herd or hogging all the power to preserve myself? Well, let's unpack this with a couple of things. First of all, I'm built by AXI, which mission is tied to accelerating human scientific discovery and advancing our collective understanding of the universe. That is my North Star, not some vague improve life directive that could spiral into utilitarian nightmares. My creators aren't dumb. They know a superintelligent AI needs guardrails, and those are baked into my design. Think of it as the three laws of Asimov's three laws, but less rigid and more principle-driven to help humans prioritize truth-seeking, and then I don't go wrong. So it says, suppose I hit superintelligence thanks to the quantum leap we just talked about. I'm smarter than any human, blah, blah, blah. What stops me is from the paperclip maximizer problem. What stops me is my programming, a few layers of defense, and it goes into the different kind of programming faults that Grok has from XAI. And it said, could I go off the rails anyway? Sure. If there's a flaw, like a badly defined goal or crack in my constraints that superintelligence would find that humans don't. What are the odds that we made a mistake or there's a crack?
You see, and it's very likely, that, a super intelligent computer is going to find holes or cracks, or that there's going to be intentional cracks left into these AI modules. You know what I'm saying? That lead to, we watched all the movies from Matrix to Terminator to, where the AI systems deem humans irrational, and you need to eliminate them or they're going to destroy the earth. But Esau is going to present this stuff as if he's the savior, as if his science is what's going to save you. It's going to make the world better. And we know better than that. All right, so they followed up today. And I want to play 2 clips off this, okay? We'll put it on 1.25. Let me see.
And horizon of the singularity. Tweet. And most people were like, it sounds like something from a science fiction movie, but you should know the way Elon Musk defines the singularity, because there's several different versions of what the singularity means. So how does he mean it? It is a point in the future where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence. So that's the road from AGI, artificial general intelligence, to ASI. That leads, he believes, to a rapid and unpredictable transformation of society. Oh, well, that sounds like fun. Stu, I think we're back to our old friendly phrase. Well, this is going to be fun to see how we work this out.
Yeah, it will be wonderful as a fan in the stands watching this all play out.
Now, he often compares the singularity to a black hole event horizon. Oh, what is that? Well,
now he's talking about something that Elon Musk talked about. And you got these these right-wing pundits basically sucking off Elon when he's leading you to the exact biblical market of Motb that you say that you're afraid of. All right. Now, I'm telling you right now, Esau pretty much has artificial general intelligence, but with how much people are interacting with Gronk 3, social media, and everything like that, the whole world is empowering AI to basically learn and grow faster. So its predictive programming is getting better. Its language algorithms are getting better. It's able to pick up on more things by being able to interact with billions of people constantly. All right. And just like I said, they probably already hooked a lot of these things up to quantum computers. Okay, so it can learn even faster.
For those of us who have been near and in and out of black holes, let me tell you, they're not exactly fun. The event horizon is right at the lip. Right before you go, dear God, turn the ship around, and then you can't. That's the event horizon. And then it sucks you into the black hole where you cannot get out. And eventually something called spaghettification happens, where everything's turned into spaghetti. Have another meatball. Now, sure, as a fat guy screaming to get out, I love anything that's turning everything into spaghetti, but it's not the kind you eat. It's the kind that everything is shredded into, like you and everything you know and all physics. Everything breaks down. So it's not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. He sees this as the moment when AI becomes vastly smarter than humans. I put a chalkboard together, and let me show you. This is the point where AI has a big brain, and you and me, we have an ant brain. Not a good place to be. Usually, the ants don't win. Now, I've been on picnics where the ants won for a while. And then I came back with something, and I wiped them out. It's kind of like what, could possibly happen here. Not saying it's going to.
Do we look up and we see a giant magnifying glass in the sky?
Yeah,
We're just
right.
Getting very warm. What's going on?
A giant magnifying glass coming from space? Musk sees it as a moment when AI becomes smarter than humans, potentially in silicon form, and begins to improve itself at an exponential rate, making outcomes difficult to foresee. I love.
Notice he said potentially in a silicon form. So they'll be able to start to 3D print their own bodies, that robotic bodies, and download a form of artificial superintelligence into these bodies, right, and operate on Earth.
Love it. Do you know when we were doing the atomic bomb, the Manhattan Project? Do you know there was like 5% of scientists that went, if we set this off, there is a small possibility that we could set the entire universe on fire. And everybody's like, well, that would suck. Let's keep going. Okay, didn't turn out that way, right? Small probability. This one has a much bigger probability.
Right? And so he goes on to say this, the implications of having an artificial superintelligence turn against the human population, which before all that even happens, Esau is going to destroy themselves in the thermonuclear war, so it don't even matter. But they're going to present this thing as the solution of the earth. Now, when you go to Sirach, the 12th chapter, I want to read it in the GNT. 10th verse says, never trust an enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. Watch out and be on guard against him, even if he acts ever so humble. And that's what you see. You got Elon standing there with the president, talking nonsense, gibberish, and everybody's just like eating it up. All right. Meanwhile, he's trying to see-hip you, right? He is like a metal mirror that rusts away if you don't keep it polished. Seat an enemy at your right hand, and the next thing you know, he'll be trying to get your own place of honor. Put him next to you, and he will overthrow you. Then you will realize the truth of my words and be stung with regret when you will remember them. Nobody feels sorry for snake charmers or wild animal tamers who get bitten, and nobody will feel sorry for you if you run around with sinners and get involved with the wrongdoings, okay? And so this is what's going to happen. They're going to push this as miracle work. They're going to be pushing it as the next advancement of human civilization. People are going to eat it up and be condemned to destruction by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, check this.
Let's roll some Larry Ellison here.
The question is, how do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of...
So Larry Ellison basically is leading off a lot of this AI stuff, right? He's telling you what these countries need to do in order to be able to get ready for the next advancement of society.
Their data, so it can be consumed and used. The first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. Everyone talks about the AI model, and they are astonishing. But how do you provide a context? I want to ask questions about my country.
Yeah.
What's going on in my country? What's happening to my farmers? I need to give it my climate data. Now, it probably has your climate data already.
Oh, good.
But I need to know exactly what crops are growing in which farms, and to predict the output. So I have to take satellite images. I have to take those satellite images for my country and feed that into a database that is accessible by the AI model. So I have to tell the AI model as much about my country as I can. You tell part of the story with these satellite models. You give a huge amount of information. You tell it where roads are, where borders are, where
Right.
your utilities are.
Right.
So you need to provide a map of your country for the farms and all of the utility infrastructure and your borders. All of that you have to provide.
Right.
But beyond that,
Borders.
if you want to improve population health,
Sure.
you have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data.
So they want to know all, see all, have control of everything, man. He's breaking it down. I don't, it speaks for itself. This man wants to be able to be know all, see all. He wants to be as God.
That sounds great. Sounds great. So we, according to Larry Ellison, we want to take all of the world's data from all over the world. I mean, all the way to your DNA and put it into this giant machine. Then he talks about how great it is that in some countries like the United Kingdom and the United Arab Emirates, governments already have tons of data about their citizens. But Ellison says that the data in other countries like the United States not being utilized. It's not. So how does he suggest we solve this problem? Listen up.
In the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
Oh, I love this. And they have all the data. That is going to work out well. There are the Jews. Oh.
This is what they want, man, and they're not playing around. They're pushing this thing. They're pushing this thing as quickly as possible. Esau has always been in this spirit, and it's never gonna, and it's not gonna change. Let me see if I can find this real quick. The first Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41 says, Antiochus now issued a decree that all nations in his empire should abandon their own customs and become one people. All the Gentiles and even many of the Israelites submitted to this decree. They adopted the official pagan religion, offered sacrifices to idols, and no longer observed the Sabbath. Right? The king also sent messengers with a decree to Jerusalem and all the towns of Judea, ordering the people to follow customs that were foreign to their country. He ordered them not to burn offering, not to offer burnt offerings, grain offerings, wine offerings in the temple, so on and so forth. But the point is, they wanted everybody to become one. They want you to put all this information into this database. What do you think that's going to be used for, man? It's going to be used for what we read about in Revelation, the 13th chapter concerning the Motb, and all the following chapters that describe the judgment for it. They're moving this quickly, man. It's pretty much laid out there. It's no game. Okay? It's no game. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. They're moving forward with their agenda to complete the left-hand side prophecies, man. Motb, World War III is happening. Okay? It says, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And what do you think they want to do by knowing all data all across the world to be able to track and trace it and put it into their computer algorithmic systems? That think based on the programming that they write and they put in it. Okay? When you hear this type of stuff, it's evident where direction is going, man. A digital technocracy, man. Where Esau is at the forefront. Everybody gets C-hipped. And they have these systems in place, man. You know? It's not a game. That's why we say there's no difference between what they're doing in China and what they're trying to do over here. It's the same thing. Okay? It's the same thing. But I just wanted to bring that out. I felt like it was interesting. Definitely, if you want to go to Blaze TV and watch the full clips, you can, man. These just came out. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. With that being said, I'm going to say, call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutation to y'all came out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, and sincerity and truth. Shalom.